Good morning from Switzerland, my first time ever in this beautiful country. This is episode 26 of me sitting down once a week to talk about life and business. Welcome back to Monday Diaries. This is our home for a while. As always, this is going to be a raw one-take video. If you have a short attention span, go watch my POV videos. They're a bit more immersive, I would say. But this is the raw stuff, the lessons, the things that have altered my brain in the last week that I want to share with you. So today actually marks 6 months of posting every week on YouTube, which is the longest I've ever been this consistent on this platform. And actually the last few months I've been twice a week. So plan is to continue that and see what happens by the end of the year. Just make 100 videos, improve one thing every time is what Mr. Beast always says. So I'm taking that advice. But the impact of like a relatively small channel compared to other platforms of mine is like so powerful. I get more DMs, more comments, more heartfelt, really deep conversations come out of it. So keep that up. I appreciate you guys being here, and I'm glad that some of these videos resonate with you. So keep commenting, keep asking questions, keep giving feedback. I love to hear it. So straight into the juicy stuff. Art of Monday's update on the screen right now. We've had 143 applications, which is up 3 from last week, which is pretty slow, to be honest, compared to previous weeks. But we keep moving forwards. We keep showing up. We have 26 members right now. The average member does a few mil a year and is in their 20s. The age span is really between 18 and like 34, I think is our range. And all just builders, people who like working online and getting more out of life at the same time. So if that sounds like you, reach out, have a conversation. Personal brand growth stats. I'm at 1,906 subs on YouTube. That's up 94 from last week. Really consistently growing there. So thank you guys for that. 153.2 on Instagram. That's down 431. Same old story there. And 322k on TikTok, which is down about 100. Speaking of building personal brand, really quick story for you. A friend of mine runs a YouTube channel. I'll put it on the screen right now. And that's his personal one. And he also has another one with like 1 million subs. And his strategy is genius. He's like gamified the whole system of creating at-home workouts. And his retention is through the roof because people do the workout alongside him. He can place ads all the way throughout, and people love it because they get a rest from working out. So he's just made a living off ad revenue for the last year or two, but the strategy is really powerful. And one of my other friends, Andrew, is building a SaaS app, an app for mobility, stretching, and getting more out of your body. And I told him about all these channels, and I was like, dude, you got to do something like this because you could just do daily mobility, daily stretching videos, 10, 15-minute videos. And he was like, all right. And I didn't realize, this was a few months ago, we had this conversation, but then this week we had our group calls, our member group calls, where we just get a bunch of founders together, and it's kind of like group therapy, but we get to talk about our challenges and get ideas and intros and that sort of thing. And he brought up the YouTube channel, and I had a look at it. It's the first time I'd seen it since he started. He's 3 months in, and he's just crossed like 8k subs, which blows my mind. Because he's posted once a week for only a few months, so really cool to see. And I think it's such an opportunity to double down and just like really ramp it up, which gives me a lot of energy for my YouTube too. Gets me inspired. I think I'm 6 months in now and I have less than 2,000 subs, but very different situations, I know. So anyway, kind of got me inspired to make some of my own faceless channels and in the fitness space and sell affiliate deals or something. So Andrew, if you're watching this, hit me up. But no, nice work, dude. Pumped to see that. And I think the coolest thing about that is an idea that I planted months ago landed for someone, and it came to fruition and it worked. And that's happened a couple of times, especially while building Art of Mondays. Another friend, I suggested this 30-day series that he run, and he went super viral the first time he did it. He gained 20k followers and built a business off the back of that. And it's just really cool to see. For me, I get to show up every day in these groups, and I get to learn from people smarter than me most of the time, but it's really cool to see it go both ways sometimes, and some of my ideas land for people. So that was dope. In terms of honest energy update, Last week I spoke pretty transparently about a few things, and I had a couple of people reach out and check in. So thank you guys for that. Much appreciated. I have definitely bounced back from that. I'm out in nature right now in the rolling hills of Switzerland. I'm very inspired by this place. It's something, as an Aussie, you look at Switzerland as in awe, and we get to be in this van for a week. Alina and I, we're in partnership with Camper Days, so to get a free van and cruise the countryside is pretty epic for us to be able to do. So I'm pumped for that. More early morning hikes, creating content, sharing ideas, becoming a writer. More on that soon. And energy is in flow this week, which is nice. Big win of the week is that our group meets really were firing, or I felt like they were. Last week I shared that I tend to get a bit anxious or apprehensive leading up to those calls because I feel so much responsibility to make sure everyone's getting value, to navigate the conversation, to hold the space for 2, sometimes more hours at a time. And then there's 5 of those calls, it's 10, 15 hours of me just being super present. And it can be draining for me. It's not my zone of genius. And so in the whole week leading up, I tend to be out of flow and ideas are stifled. And yeah, it's a real, it's something that I'm solving because I don't want to throw my week out once a month thinking about this stuff. But in the calls themselves, it's magic. It just flows well, and everyone contributes, and it's really cool. So once you're there, it's fine. It's just a lead up. So that was a takeaway. They went quite well this week, and I think I get energized by ideas. And I think most founders do. It kind of feels like a game. So that was cool. A lesson from this week is to find the things that bring you anxiety or misalignment in your life and do it differently next time. Eliminate them, automate them, delegate them, whatever you need to do. And that's already in process. We've got some facilitators coming in that are much more equipped than I am, and really excited for that to happen. But also, beyond that situation, just think about your in every day when a bit of anxiety comes up or a decision that you got to make or whatever, and just remove it the next time. There's no reason you can't do that. So think about that some more. That's what I'm thinking about. One other lesson from this week. This one's a good one. Obsession beats talent every time. You might have heard that quote. I think it's in an Adam Sandler movie. I would say obsession beats routine every time because when you're obsessed, you don't need discipline. And the context is I was having a conversation with some friends who had all built quite big audiences on social media, like hundreds of thousands, millions of followers really. And someone asked them, what's your routine? How do you show up so consistently and just put content out in the world and build these audiences? And the consensus with them and also with me was there is no routine. It's get up a bit earlier and work out often. And, those things are best practices. And I think they're just healthy things to do in life. But when it comes to doing things, it's actually just about obsession, because if you are obsessed, you think about it when you wake up in the morning, you think about it when you go to bed at night, and you just do it more often because you're obsessed with it. And I think there's this negative connotation with obsession typically, especially as a kid, we're kind of, parents try to stifle it because it can be a bad thing if you're too obsessed with something, games, whatever. I was like that growing up. I'd get onto a new game and I'd want to be the best at it, in my class or in my family or whatever. And I would say that led to me finding success in things now because I want to be really good at things when I start them. And it's all I think about for a period of time. So I would say lean into that obsession, and you don't actually need routine. You don't actually need as much discipline when you're obsessed. Challenge from this week, not specifically this week actually, but something that I'm dealing with is our content system that we tried to build just didn't work. We hired a few editors and it just didn't work. Not even that the videos posted didn't work. It's we didn't even get videos posted. And my reflection there is I think we incentivized in the wrong way. We were basically offering a small amount of money up front for a video edited, and then a larger amount of money if the video performed well. And in theory, that's a great idea. But I was going into it expecting people that hadn't necessarily had a lot of experience going viral and creating this high impact content to go viral and have high impact content, and it was my own fault. I should have led the creative direction entirely and then had them execute and sort of handhold and upskill them and then have them run with it. But I was kind of trying to hand the reins over too soon, and also the incentivization wasn't enough to prioritize this. So it's this thing called the hero complex, and this has come up many times in my career. I've hired probably 25 people in my life. The hero complex is when you give someone enough information to do the thing, but not really have success in it. And so often that would happen, and then I could swoop in and I'd like be the hero that saves the day and shows them how to do it. And it's a way for me to get self-worth, and it's really backwards way of thinking because it's all subconscious, and it's a self-worth thing ultimately. But I've seen it show up many times in different projects I've had, and it's happened again. And it's such a funny reflection looking back on that, where really I should have led the creative direction entirely in the ideation and hand held them through and really given them enough information to truly have success with it, and then everything works better. So logically you want to do that, but then your own limiting beliefs hold you back. So that was a huge light bulb moment for me when I sat down to write even just this video and think about it, which goes to show how important reflection is. So doing it differently, we're rejigging it, we're building it differently from here on out, and I'll keep you guys updated as we go. Finally, one thing to ponder: what are you obsessed with? Comment it down below so I can see and hold you accountable. You should do that thing more often, because likely it's going to lead to good things, and you're going to be more fulfilled, and you're going to have a lot more fun doing it. So what are you obsessed with? Let me know in the comments. I appreciate you guys being here as always. I hope you start fucking with Mondays too. I'll see you soon.